We now know what we mean by transformational change and that the board play a central role in the sign-off process. But what is the role of the board during the transformation? It's not enough to say make it so and then hope that the business will sort everything out. Management by hope has never worked. You need to put effort in to ensure that it's a success. Effective sponsorship plays a key role in any change project, and I'd like to dispel the myth that there is only one sponsor. All board members whose areas will be impacted by the change need to act as sponsors, however small their perceived involvement is. You have two types of sponsor from a change perspective: authorising and reinforcing. The authorising sponsor is the individual who has authority over the area being changed. If that's one division or function, then it can be the board member who's accountable for that area. If it's a wide-reaching change and a number of areas will be impacted, then the MD or CEO has to be the authorising sponsor, with all the board members whose areas are involved with the change becoming reinforcing sponsors, which means they actively reinforce and support the change. If the CEO or equivalent is the authorising sponsor, then it's common for them to delegate the day-to-day sponsorship to another board member, maybe the head of IT if it's a technology-driven change. This is sometimes referred to as the project sponsor. However, that doesn't mean that the CEO or MD can abdicate their duties. There will be times when they need to get involved, which is part of the role of governance, and a bit more on that later. So what does being a sponsor entail? It's about supporting the change in thought, word, and deed. It's vital that your general attitude, language, and actions all align with and demonstrate your commitment to the change. And that includes supporting individuals who are involved in the change. If this isn't the case, then it soon becomes clear to others in your team or the wider business, which gives them permission to not fully support the change. Some examples that I've experienced of poor sponsorship include a senior program director, when we were looking to introduce integrated project teams, saying, it'll never work. We've tried this before. Just keep your head down, everybody. Get on with your job and then it'll go away. We were successful, but it took longer. So the head of finance said to an individual who was already working a 60-hour week, I'd like you to get involved and support the change program, but this can't impact any of your existing priorities. So that's not showing indeed that this individual believes that this is the right thing to be working on. And then another announcement was made at a company-wide briefing. I'd like to announce that we're about to enter into a full time of transformation against my better judgment, and we should support this project as hopefully it will make a difference for us. This was said by an engineering director who didn't want the change to happen because he quite liked the way that the existing well-established ways of working already operated. This is a key area to be mindful of. Your language leaks signals out to the business at all times and reinforces how committed you are to the change. Please don't underestimate the power you hold due to your position as a member of the board. I have rarely met individuals who are deliberately bad sponsors, but I have met a number of individuals who are poor sponsors because they're unclear on what the role entails. Another challenge for board members is keeping focused on the existing changes whilst also looking to the future. I know that an integral part of your role is to look forwards and determine the strategic direction for the business. But if you've launched a large transformation project, which may take many months to deliver into business, you need to sponsor that project through to completion and not get distracted by the next bright and shiny project. One way of remaining focused on a change is to put in place a governance structure for that transformation, sometimes referred to as a steering group. Project governance provides guidance and direction, enables significant decisions to be made, and tracks the metrics relating to project delivery and completion. It also enables the project team to deliver on requirements and creates a forum for issue resolution to occur in a timely manner. From a change perspective, its purpose is to provide the project team with an escalation route when they need to check that they're going in the right direction or require blockages to be removed. Governance is about nudging the virtual tiller to keep the project moving in the right direction rather than directing a team. This requires regular meetings, the frequency of which can vary, but should as a minimum be monthly to maintain the necessary momentum. Those involved would typically include the project manager for the transformation, key senior stakeholders, and the authorising sponsor or his delegated project sponsor. The steering group would be established early on in the project and would also be responsible for the business case to ensure it's robust before the project starts in earnest, ensuring that they have confidence that a desired return on investment will be achieved, enabling or empowering the project team to get on with the transformation, checking that they've incorporated change management elements as an integral part of the project plan and not as a standalone plan, incorporating sufficient budget in the project plan for the change elements. Good practice is between 10 and 15% of the project cost for change-related activities, but that does include all the communications and engagement. And lastly, supporting the project through to completion and until it becomes embedded in the business. So governance is another area to be mindful of, ensuring that governance is in place and its role is clearly defined and understood by everybody.